Hello. Today's vlog is not going to be the third part in Education as a Discipline, an Atmosphere and a Life because I'm not prepared to do the third part this week. So I opened up my Facebook page and asked what you guys wanted to hear about, and you said you wanted to hear about moms who don't yell and about curriculum. And so I'm laughing because moms who don't yell, like, that's not me. I'm Mediterranean. I yell as easily as I speak. um, so I can't really speak on the moms who don't yell thing because I think yelling is good for kids. And I think that there's something to be said for, scaring them a little bit when they need it. So I don't have any problem with that. I do think that you need to be controlled as a parent and you need to know your limits. And just like in any situation where you have authority and where you need to be dominating another person or alphaing another person, it's really important that you do so with respect for the person in mind and, that it be for their good, whatever you're doing. I mean, there are times where you like flip your lid and it is what it is. But I think that, a little yelling is not going to hurt anybody. It's just part of the human experience. You guys are about to hear it right now because my son is over here. Not obeying his mommy who told him to be quiet and not be over here. So it's okay. I don't need to hear about it. Anyway, so then the other kind of big thing that you guys seem to want to hear about is curriculum. And I know that I'm really far behind in giving my curriculum to you guys in a format that's usable, and I apologize. But it's important to me that I do it right the first time, and because it's not a curriculum that I've used with my own kids all the way through, I want to make sure that as I'm looking at the high school years and I'm looking at the middle school years, that I'm actually using it with somebody working out the kinks, because I know that moms who look at curriculum online are like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it all the way, and I've been there too. I'm going to do Ambleside online. Okay, no, I'm going to do Mater Mobilis. No, I'm going to do Ambleside online. And, like, the reality is that every household is different, and every household is going to have a different way that they do what they're doing. So if one of them doesn't work for you, you have to have the comfort and ability and knowledge as a parent to be able to say, okay, I'm going to switch it up now and do it, like, in a safe way, or a way that that you're still able to teach with, even if it's not exactly written the way that it's written. So in my case, my curriculum, I want to provide it for free. I want to give it just because it's what we're using. It's basically a combination of Ambleside Online, Mater Mobilis, and Angelicum Academy. As far as like selections where I got my ideas. I went to Charlotte Mason's works themselves and I said, okay, what did she do exactly? And I used the same titles whenever I had the chance to do that. And, there's a book, I forget what it's called now, The Charlotte Mason Companion. And it was one of the first, I don't know, because I only read, or I only started out reading Charlotte's works themselves. I never started out reading someone else's. But in Charlotte Mason Companion, I think I remember reading that she just basically read Charlotte's work and then decided she was going to go to the library, and whatever was available, those were the living books they were going to use. And that means that she didn't have anything that was particularly set or in order, or there was no... Guys, can you keep it down, please? Thank you. She said, yes, ma'am. See, all the yelling works. So there's something to be said for not panicking, like you want to use good books. You're not necessarily going to have all the books that any particular curriculum provides, and you should feel comfortable and safe replacing with whatever you have available, and doing what you want to do. I mean, so in my mind, because like we're like getting ready to hit the spring term right now, and it's definitely a time when like moms are starting to get burnt out. And so when you're thinking about curriculum, it's easy to be like, I just need something simple or that's right there or whatever. And that's true, you do. But you shouldn't panic, like if you have books in your house and they're good books and you've gotten rid of all your twaddle, then you're pretty much set to go and you don't need to worry about anything else. Just start reading. The important thing is just to do it, not to think about it too much, but just to dive in, create a time every day where you're reading together and you're used to it, and then you just do it. Last night we celebrated the Feast of St. Brigid. My friend was over here. We made a meal and we sat down with the kids, and one of the things that we did was read St. Brigid's life over the meal. And I have to tell you, like, those screaming 2-year-old asking for more wine because we made her like a special fruit juice thing that she thought was wine, and so she's like, screaming more wine when I'm trying to read and all this stuff, and it's just completely ridiculous. But I read it. I required narration. I didn't do it in a way that was, harsh or disciplinarian, but I was just kind of like, so tell me what happened to St. Brigid when, whatever I was reading in the story. And so the kids were able to narrate without really feeling like they were put upon or anything like that. When one person would finish, I would ask the other, is there anything you want to add? And sometimes there was, and sometimes there wasn't. And, that's really how it should go. It should flow naturally. School should never be this just a horrifying experience for them. And in fact, because it was the Feast of St. Brigid, my friend and I asked the children, traditionally you pick something you're going to leave behind at this time of year. And so we asked them to go around the table and pick the thing that they were going to leave behind. And ironically, 2 of them chose yelling. They were tired of the yelling. And, so that means they have to do better. And I have to yell less. But one of them was like, I'm leaving behind school because she doesn't want to do her math. And I laughed because I told her, hey, we're doing school right now and this isn't so bad. We're sitting around a table having a really good meal and talking about a book we just read that's a good book. So sometimes you realize, like, again, I'm going to do a whole thing on education as a life, but that's really what it boils down to. Education is a life, so curriculum should be a life choice. We know that you're going to select books that are twaddle-free. We know that you're going to select books that are beautiful and true and good. We know that you're going to select books that are lively and vibrant, good literature, well-written. And then because we've done that, education is a life, so it just happens. We don't need to worry that that they're not getting a specific title or one particular book. When they're older, they can always go back and read it. There are books, like I never read Tom Sawyer when I was a kid. So, maybe at some point I'm going to go back and read it and I'll like it as much as an adult as I would have as a kid. There's no reason for us to panic because they didn't get exposed to one particular book or anything like that. The important thing is to feel comfortable in your atmosphere, because if you feel comfortable in your atmosphere, then your curriculum works for you. If you're not comfortable in your atmosphere, your curriculum's working against you. And so when mine comes out, it's going to be kind of like that, because I don't plan on having a lot of time to provide support and stuff like that unless you guys want to pay me, then I'll do it. But I don't have a lot of time, so it's just going to kind of be out there, and it's very similar to everything else that's already out there. In fact, I pulled from all that stuff because they're really good, and so it's not going to be like this miracle fix-all, like, okay, this is great and this is going to help. Like, every curriculum has so much merit and so much value, and there's not like, there might be one that's better for a particular family because of a particular thing, but it's like curriculum should be this like kind of like living thing. It shouldn't be something that is just like so boxed that you're not able to make it work for you in a certain way. So I know a lot of people, for example, they'll start with Ambleside Online. They get really excited about it. They get ready for it. And then when the year starts, they just flip out because it's too much, it's too hard, or whatever it is. And the fact is that Ambleside is difficult, especially when you're first starting out, because you're not used to requiring that much of your children. And at the same time, it's so simple. Like, I go back to Ambleside all the time because it is so easy. And because it's so easy, I love it. And I'm always mystified when people are like, hey, this is really hard, I can't do it. And I'm like, you can't do it because you're panicking when you can't do it. Like, you just need to say to yourself, man, I missed that reading or that book 2 weeks in a row. And it's okay. Like, it's okay to drop it. It's okay to just pick up wherever you left off. It's okay to briefly give them like a synopsis of the 2 chapters they missed and then go straight back into the following week. I don't know if people just need someone to say that to them. It's okay, but it really is okay. Like, the exposure to the thing is what matters. It's doing the thing that matters. So if you miss, you just get back up and start again. And just like anything else, I mean, I don't know if you guys do yoga, but like when you're standing there in a weird position and you're just like, okay, like I gotta stay in this position for a significant amount of time, you know, sometimes you topple over. And what yoga teachers will always tell you is, hey, when you're getting started and you're learning how to do these, then topple over and get back up. And it's just like that with anything. You fall off a horse, get back on the horse. You fall out of a run, take a breath, get back in the run. You don't just quit. I'm like doing this crazy leg day experience on post lately, and there came a point where I really thought I was going to die. I just thought I was going to die in the middle of it, and I couldn't go forward anymore. And my friend was there encouraging me, and she was just like, put on your war face and just do it. And she's right. Like, I'm not going to die. I just need to get back in there and just do it. And it's the same thing with everything. So when it comes to curriculum, I don't want you guys to panic. I don't want you guys to think that anything out there is like the perfect curriculum. The only thing that is perfect is whatever works for you, what you have available, what is good literature, and what you can theoretically use, and that your child enjoys. And so that's really what it comes down to. So as you guys fall into the spring, like, oh my gosh, get it over with kind of mode, and then start looking for more simple and easier curriculum to use, just keep that in mind. They're all equally difficult because the hard part is actually doing the thing. But I think it was Charles Spurgeon who said, by perseverance the snail reached the ark. And it's true. We learn from the tortoise and the hare that slow and steady wins the race. So I hope that helps. And this is Lula. Hi. No, not now. And I'll see you next time.
Please. Can I have some more hot